make scary story videos all the time. I love true scary stories, so I wanted to read some allegedly true scary stories from Reddit. So let's go ahead and start. Okay. I was about 4 or 5 years old, and my parents had just separated. My mom was living in a 2-bedroom apartment. I had my own room, but I preferred to sleep in her bed whenever I was staying with her. Our 2 bedrooms were at the end of a hallway, directly across from each other. Our apartment was on the first floor, and I remember that it was in the middle of the summer, and my mom had a window open in her room, which was directly behind the bed, above the headboard. Anyways, I woke up in the middle of the night, and I remember sitting up and seeing that our cat was sitting in the doorframe of my mom's room. Her door was open, and you could partially see into my bedroom. This was strange because our cat was typically always in bed with us. As I was watching him, he walked into my bedroom and meowed. I turned to face my mom and wake her up. In the 3 to 4 seconds it took her to wake up and ask me what was wrong, we both looked back up in the door frame, and there was a man standing by my door, making his way out of my bedroom. I still don't know how she managed to do it so quickly, but my mother proceeded to pick me up and literally throw me out of the screen window. Again, we were on the first floor, and it was maybe a 3-foot drop to the ground. She quickly followed, and we were able to start screaming for help, and someone called 911. The police came but didn't see any signs of forced entry, only that our front door was unlocked, which led them to believe the man must have exited that way. The strange thing was that my mom swore up and down that she had locked the door that night with the deadbolt and chain lock. About a week later, she was cleaning the kitchen and opened up our water heater closet and found a notebook with names and drawings, as well as a pair of gloves and some gum wrappers. The police were called again, but all they could do was speculate that the man had been in our house and hid until we were asleep. Just to clarify, our apartment was on the ground level, so my mother didn't hurl me into potential paralysis, just a 3-ish foot drop to grass. That's scary though. I've heard a lot of stories about, people living in people's houses, and at night they come out. That crap is scary to me. Okay, next. A terrifying but true story I experienced when I was 12. I moved to my dad's when I was 10 and didn't know anyone in the area except for the family my dad was friends with. Single mom with 3 kids. Luckily, there was a girl a couple of years older than me, 12 at the time I met her, and we got to know each other a little over a couple years. We weren't close, but ended up having the same friends. One night, my friend Rob was hanging out with her and her younger brother. They happened to be in the house alone because my friend's mom was at work, which is where this gets terrifying and sad. Her mother has been helping this one lady through her work and got to know her fairly well. She found out her sister was in a mental institution and was let out recently. The night Rob is hanging out with my friend, they get a knock on the door. My friend thought it was just their mom. She knocks a certain way when coming in, and answered it without thinking. Rob wasn't supposed to be there, and he took off through the window to his house down the road. He never thought twice about it. It wasn't her mom. It was the sister of the lady her mom was helping, and she figured out through talking to her sister where her family lived and her mom's working schedule. She came in, and this is where I don't know details, and I'm glad I don't. My friend's younger brother got away to the neighbors to call the police. The wasn't allowed to go to the funeral. Oh my god, that like legit gave me goosebumps. That was actually so scary. Oh jeez. Okay, next story. I was sitting in my room after getting out of work on the second floor. Little brother is downstairs watching TV. The dog is in the hallway outside my door sleeping. All of a sudden, dog starts making all kinds of racket, jumping around, barking, clacking nails, howling. I go to get up and see what's up, and I hear, "Oh, that's a good girl," in a male voice. It didn't sound like my little brother, so I go, "Oh, you're home early." I think it's my dad, or my dad's friend, who's our roommate. Soon as I'm out there, there's no one at all but the dog wagging her tail, staring at the empty end of the hallway. Little brother comes upstairs to yell at me for getting his dog riled up. Said he heard the same voice thinking it was me or our roommate. We did a once over the house with my butterfly knife and his BB gun, and there was nobody. Still gives me the spooks to this day. Okay. Next story. A few years ago, I was home alone at nighttime. I was watching TV in the living room when I heard the doorbell ring. Whenever I hear the doorbell ring, especially when I'm home alone, I am cautious to answer it. I walk up to the people without turning on the porch light so they don't know if anyone is actually home or not, and look through. It's really dark, but I can see a small figure, more like black blob. IDK its definite shape, and had to be around 3 to 4 feet, doing like a dancing motion, dipping down and oscillating its arms outward. Think of a person moving their arms like wings gracefully. It was dark outside, but this figure was more opaque, so I could see this going on. After a few seconds, I stopped looking through the people because it was too freaky to look at. I regained some courage and looked back through, and whatever it was gone. To this day, I still don't know what that was, and I get freaked out thinking about it. That is creepy. Alright. Next story. My ex-wife had several weird experiences. I'll just relate this one. I'm at work one day when she calls me out of the blue. We were still married at the time. She usually did not call me during the day because she worked the night shift. She tells me to call my friend Danny and make sure he and his family are okay. When I ask why, she tells me that she had a dream but can't remember it, but that I should call Danny and make sure he's okay. So I called Danny and check in with him. I tell him about my wife's dream. He's mildly amused, but tells me that he and his family are fine and to thank my wife for her concern. I call her back and let her know all is well. She's very dubious when she hears the news. I found out later that within half an hour of my phone call to Danny, he got another call from his uncle in Florida to tell him that Danny's son had hanged himself. Oh god. That is scary and very sad. Okay. Next story. There was an abandoned house next to mine. The previous owner moved out to California 25 years prior and never sold it. I got a flashlight, gloves, and pushed the window open and went inside, starting with the basement. In the basement was a grand piano, still plays but very much out of tune. Old World War II stuff, what seemed to be a signed Elvis poster, some other really cool shit no one should ever leave behind. There's basically a whole story in that basement, including a broken wedding picture frame and instruments everywhere. On the main TVs that still hadn't been turned off. Then I started walking upstairs when I heard crying from one of the side rooms. That's when I freaked the fuck out, and I haven't been there since. Okay, I just want to tell one short personal story because this reminded me of it. But I'm a photographer, and I remember me and my friends went to this like abandoned factory. It was when I lived in Utah, and it was like off the side of the freeway. Anyways, I went there a couple times, but the first time I went for a photo shoot, we went to like the highest floor, and there was like a dirty mattress on the ground and like a bunch of like food wrappers everywhere, like someone had been living in there. And in the corner, and this is a gross part, just so you know, there was like a giant mountain of like human poop. Like they just like pooped in the corner. And it was like a tall freaking mount, like a hill of crap. And it was really gross. And like we got scared and left because somebody had been living in there. Okay. Sorry, that was a gross little story, but it was freaky at the time. Okay. This is the late 80s, early 90s. I was around 6 to 7 years old. I am at home with my sister, who was 14 or 15 at the time. We grew up in a small Texas town. Everyone knows everybody. We are home alone this particular night, and my folks let my sister babysit me frequently. We always got along due to our age gap. Anyways, it's about 8 p.m. in the winter. Deserts get pretty damn cold. So it's dark, and we are in the common room since that is where the TV was. Watching 60 Minutes or 48 Hours or hard copy or some shit. Those 1-hour news pieces on CBS that chronicle large crimes in depth, trafficking, murders, kidnappings, and the like. Basically, a gritty Lifetime special. This one was a typical story. Guy next door that was quiet went on a rampage in his next door neighbor's house, mutilating them and kidnapping their young daughter. Well, the thing about our house common room is the door leading to the backyard was a large glass door on a wall of floor-to-ceiling windows. Nothing but blackness beyond it unless you have the back light on. We did not. The front door is on the other side of the room with a small entryway. This is a solid door, so you cannot see what is beyond it, with a glass storm door on the outside of it. About 45 minutes into the show, they are talking about the ongoing manhunt for this crazy guy, and bam, 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 front door bangs like crazy. We jump the fuck up and scream like banshees. Dead silence now. The only lights on in the house are the kitchen down the hall from the common room. We were in and the light from the TV. We start thinking something on the porch. We had some planters and a rocking chair out there had simply blown against the door. This was West Texas. Crazy strong winds out that way. Well, a minute or two of silence and us holding each other post-adrenaline overdose passes. Just when we are about to declare everything is safe, we hear the storm door on the outside of our front door close. Fuck. Someone had to have opened that door to be able to bang on the front door like that. Shit, shit, shit. We are both frozen in the middle of the room, on the floor, where we had been watching TV. My sister crawls over to the TV and turns it off. It was an old TV, so you had to turn that metal dial to switch it off, which it does with a mildly loud thunk. Now it is just us in a room dimly lit by the kitchen light down the hall. I do not remember how much time passed, with me frozen and my sister still crouched by the now off TV, but we kept making eye contact, then looking at the front door. I remember this part vividly. I am on my knees, sitting on my feet, I turn around to look at the back wall of windows and glass door. We hear and I see the back doorknob turn. It was locked on the knob, but not deadbolted. It rattles slightly as if someone is gently trying the handle. Neither of us make a sound, just held our breath. And then bam, 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 bam. Loud as hell, someone is trying to force the door open, jerking it back and forth. The whole wall of windows is vibrating violently, and I can see with each jerk of the door how my slight reflection gets fuzzy then clear then fuzzy. My sister flips her shit and screams bloody murder. I am still frozen on the floor. She gets up and basically drags me into the bedroom, slams the door, throws her mattress and anything she can in front of her door. Thankfully, she had remembered the phone. One of those ungodly heavy beige plastic long metal antenna portable phones. We still had to direct dial a sheriff there, and in her panic didn't remember the number. She just hit redial on the phone. It was one of her friends, and she tells them in broken gasps that someone is trying to get into our house and needs to get there right fucking now. The profanity sticks out here, but then anything else, who knows, young brain. I am curled up on the floor and cannot stop shaking. We don't hear anything else until we see the headlights of my sister's friend and her parents driving up to the house. We never did find out who was at the door or why there was no signs of anything happening, but a couple of scuff marks on the bottom of the back door that we could not remember if they were there before or not. Nothing like that has happened to me or her since, but for damn sure we never forgot to lock doors after that. Pretty creepy. Okay, this is gonna be the last story. My sister and I were playing outside when we were younger, and an elderly couple was walking by our yard. Our yard had a cemetery in the back, so it was quite a common local attraction for tourists, as this house was built in the 1800s, and most of the graves were from the children who died back then from the flu, etc. There are some creepy stories from that place, but nothing lives up to what happened all those years ago. Playing outside, and this old couple kept pestering my sister about what her name was. As they approached us and got closer, we were just little kids and got terribly scared and ran inside and told our mom what had happened. The following week, I heard a story on the news about an elderly couple approaching a teenage girl, kidnapping her and raping her, and it was the same couple that had approached my sister and I. I still got creeped out by that. Oh god. I got goosebumps. That shit's creepy. Okay guys, well that is it for these creepy Reddit stories. I hope you enjoyed them. I always find horror and scary things fascinating. Hope you guys have a great Halloween, the rest of your October. I don't know if I'll be doing any more horror story videos, but I did want to do at least one, since, you know, it's something that's been on my channel for a long time, and I started doing scary stories a long time ago, so anyways, have a good night guys, sleep well, hopefully you're not too creeped out, know that it's okay, there's no real harm. I know it can be hard to fall asleep sometimes after you listen to scary stories, but just try to relax, calm down, just know that this is a safe ASMR space, baby girl,